Hello, Internet. Welcome back to the From the Banking podcast with your host. I am Amber, aka Amber in Orange. We've got Arran, aka that Cadet Marshal. We don't have John, unfortunately, but instead we have our very special guest, who some of you may recognise from ITV's coverage of the British Touring Car Championship from Donington Park recently, Chris Torretto.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Perfect. Seeing as, well, I guess we'll jump straight into it.
Yeah,
Seeing
please.
as I did mention Donington Park, we did obviously see you on the coverage recently. Did you get a chance to catch any non-touring car action? And if so, what did you watch and how did you find it?
Honestly, I was so busy all day because I'm obviously making the film shift. Kind of scary. First ever BTCC film. Very scary. I'm trying to do the fans proud, so it is a very scary thing for me to be taking on. So I'm running about doing business meetings, and then I get a guy calling me from Virtue Accelerate, and they're like, and there's something going on with Tom Ingram, and I'm like, what's going on with Tom? And then I find out what's going on with Tom, and I'm like, oh right, I don't want to say anything. Things are about, and then somebody says to me, Tom's back of the pack there, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be any other driver on that grid when Tom Ingram's. And they sit and watch, from the paddock, watching him go from there up the. That was impressive. That was impressive.
Oh.
Now, I'm impressed every week. Every time I see a driver from the fact that, like, when I've seen them in their tests, you see, because we were preparing for filming, so we were doing behind the scenes, I see them doing their tests and when they're out there. And then when you actually, I know a lot of people at home, they sit at home and think like, oh, that guy's last. Oh, he's not too good. And you're sitting there going, mate, do you realize how much of a driver you need to be to even be last, to even get on there to be last? And you really gotta take your hats off, because I didn't realize, how do we say this? The size of it takes to get into that car. And then the size of your brain you have to get into that car. These guys are next level. Do you know what I mean? I have never seen as many hand movements and feet movement, and it was just like mind blowing. So they think that he was able to go from like the back of the pack up to second. That is no harm, but I'm sorry, you got to be impressed by that. No matter what team you support, you got to be impressed by that. And I'm neutral, by the way. I have to be neutral. I just happen to be wearing a hat, but I have to be neutral. I have to be neutral to all teams. Just need to say that. Nobody hate on me. I got to be neutral to all teams.
You say you need to be neutral, but you're wearing a Red Bull shirt.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. I'm sitting here wearing a Red Bull shirt and an Accelerate hat because I was sitting here panicking, kind of going, what hat am I supposed to wear? Because I've got teams are handing me hats and I'm like, I'm going to annoy somebody. So I feel like just kind of going like this halfway through. I'm going to put this one on next, and then I'll grab another one, and everybody gets a chance. It's bad. I'm like, I'm just a filmmaker and an avid loving fan of BTCC, but I'm getting thrown in the dragon. Like, it's like the lion's den, I should say.
I love the Max Verstappen analogy. Arran, do you have a question?
I need to think about it. See, Amber's prepped. I haven't really, I'll be honest.
I did not prep. Literally 5 minutes before we jumped on, I was like, I should probably think of a question. Oh,
so
God.
Let's go. A question that he wants to ask is, Chris, why are you making a film about the BTCC?
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. I'll be honest.
That's the one you sent me. That's the question you sent me earlier. I seen that. Honestly, yeah. I'm a massive fan of motorsport. Just motorsport in general. Just anything with an engine, I am there. My little girl is 11 years of age. She's always wanted to be a racer. When she was younger, she almost died 9 times in 1 year. I took a break from acting, got into writing. I started writing films, and they got read by like Samuel Jackson and Mel Gibson and Pierce Brosnan, and they were just everywhere. And then I was meant to make several films with Lionsgate, and the strike just went and kind of killed it. So whenever I sat down and I looked and kind of went, I always wanted to be a driver my whole life. Always wanted to get in a race car. Never ever happened for me. I came from a very underprivileged background. No money, no support. So it just, where I grew up, people don't drive cars around racetracks. They take them and drive them as fast as they can because there's blue lights flashing. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So when I priced up to see how hard it was for my daughter to get in a car, to race, even they start off with karting and then get in there, I was like, ooh, okay. And then when I decided how hard it was for a female to get into racing, it broke me. And I was like, right, how can I do a movement? Shift isn't just a film. Shift is a complete movement. It is a story that is based around someone who has came from nothing, who is unbelievably talented, but just never had that chance. They don't have the money, they don't have the connections, they don't have the anything. And it is a real, raw, inspirational story. It's going to bring everything in from the BTCC. It's going to give you all that on-track experience, that adrenaline. When you hear that boom, 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 enough people's going to see it where I'm going to be able to help put a lot more drivers on the seats. A lot more drivers on the seats. That's my goal. I want to change motorsport for the better. I'm not saying there's anything bad. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that maybe we can improve on. Just improve on. Since the word came out about the film, I have probably received 300, 400, 500 emails. I'm not even joking. Of families everywhere who have kids that are looking for me to sponsor them to get on this seat. And I'm like, this is what this film's for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is what it's for. I'm doing it because the love of the motorsport, the love of BTCC. I don't think Bryce Turncarn gets enough. They don't get enough of the advertising and stuff. And it is a really gritty, you know what I mean? It's very close knit driving, you know what I mean? Like, I get more excited about the BTCC than what I do with Formula One. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, come on. And then honestly, a big drive of it is for my daughter. It's for my daughter. She's obsessed with Abby Eaton. I met Abby, lovely. She is such the nicest person ever. And yeah, I want to do something just to make, I think I want to make all the teams proud, all the drivers proud, all the fans proud. Do you know what I mean? But I want every kid out there to kind of go, that could be me. This is actually achievable. And I'm hoping we can do something to make it achievable.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm making it.
Can I ask, what actually got you into motorsport in the first place?
Good question.
Being a kid, right? Just, you know, I know it sounds really mad. Being a kid, I remember we had a really, like I came from a very, very underprivileged background, but our neighbour had it was like probably an Atari or something silly at the time. Someone really old, probably way too old for you to remember. I'm showing my age.
Too old for him, not too old for me.
There was a game called like Lamborghini, right?
Yes.
And you had a choice between a yellow Lamborghini and a red Lamborghini. That was it. And then it was like, from there, I was obsessed with cars. I didn't do great at school, but all I did do good at was art. I loved drawing cars. Everything was cars. And then in Ireland at the time where I'm from, massive, we had all the done-up cars, max power and stuff and all that. But I never came from that life. So when all my friends had all these amazing cars, like back then, you'll not think they're amazing now, but back then a Citroen Saxo was amazing. A 106 with a body kit was amazing. Corsa with everything flushed was amazing. But I couldn't because I didn't come from a family. I grew up on the streets from when I was 14 to I was 21. So I never had any of that. So I was like, I can't even afford a car. I'm obsessed with cars. And I worked my ass off. And my first car was a Volkswagen Golf that was on the front cover of a Max Power magazine. Nice. And that was it. The minute I sat in that car, even though like nowadays people are like, oh, that car, massive body kit, 18-inch Oz rims, huge speakers. It was just crazy. And I just fell for it. And then I was like, I want to be a racer. And then where I'm from, no chance. It just doesn't. You just don't. There's no chance. Not with the life I grew up in. I still grew up in the times where I'm from had all the animosity. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't happen. So I did the next best thing. I think making this film's the next best thing. Or I don't know. Maybe soon you might see me in a racing seat. I don't know. Maybe.
We'll be looking out for you, I promise.
Maybe. So yeah, that honestly, yeah. I think it's a kid thing. It was a kid thing, just loving it.
Fair. Apart from obviously Donington Park, is there any other racetracks sort of around the UK you've been to?
Everything. We just did the Brit car at Oulton.
Yes.
I loved it. I was down there. I was like, yeah. So what's happened is already a lot of people I know who were never into motorsport, they tuned in because I was at Donington. They watched the race, the last race 3. I have people who were ringing me saying their husbands going, Sharon's screaming at the TV here, and they've never watched motorsport before. They've never seen motorsport before, and then they're all, Chris, when are you going to the track? When are you going to the track? I'm going to Alton Park at the weekend. Can we go? Can we go with you? And they're getting into motorsport now, which I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I've known these people for years. They weren't really into it. Now they're into it, like proper into it. We're going to be at Brands Hatch, 9th and 10th. So you'll see us. We'll be wearing all the shift hoodies and QR codes, shift hats, everything. We'll be at Brands Hatch. We'll be with all the teams in the paddocks. We'll be out there. We'll be shooting promo stuff. But yeah, we're going to be basically everywhere over the next couple of months. There's going to be a lot of promo. We're going to a lot of different teams, a lot of different tracks, a lot of different events, just to cover for different promo and to show what shift is going to be. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be huge. I love Donington. I just love Donington. You know what I mean? Donington is one of my favorites in a way, because I know everybody says Silverstone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Silverstone's worldwide. So when I talk to Americans, because I lived in America for a while, the Americans all, they know Silverstone. And I'm like, yeah, but Silverstone's massive. The fans feel like they're out here somewhere. Donington feels like they're so close and everything's right in, and it's so, I love that feeling. So even as a filmmaker, that's why I'm like, I really kind of want to film at Silverstone, obviously, for the effect of Silverstone for film. But Donington, I love Brands Hatch. Yeah. Don't ask me a favourite track, please. Don't ask that question. What's your track? Don't know.
I will ask you, have you been to Knockhill?
No!
No.
I don't know what my favourite track is. What did you actually ask there?
Have you ever been to Knockhill?
Yeah, I think I've been to every single track. I think my first ever track when I came to the UK was Donington. If I remember, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Donington. Then it was Croft. Then it was Thruxton. Then it was Oulton. Then it was Silverstone. Yeah, I just kind of went through.
Fine. We know you saved Knockhill, which is the best for last.
Yeah. I just didn't want to get anybody else jealous.
Exactly. If you could not tell, we are Knockhill marshals, so we do get touring cars up here, and we love it. It's like our sort of British Grand Prix when touring cars comes up here. Kind of not entirely related. That's the word. My brain works, I promise. To that last question, you have obviously, most, if not all, of the drivers on the current grid. Who would you say is the closest to the main character personality-wise?
Oh, that's so hard.
Sorry.
Oh my God, what a question.
Sorry.
Oh my God, I love that. No, that's a really good question. My word. Right, so he's got oh my God, this is really hard. Oh my God, this is really hard.
You've got a chance to tell us about the main character now as well, in case anyone hasn't seen that.
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of go, oh my God, can I give away who the main character is? Right.
We have our conspiracy theories, don't worry.
Right, what do you think?
Go on, Aaron. You have your conspiracy
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I've got a couple things.
You said to me about 5 minutes ago when I was reading you off the Kickstarter, my God, it's Ricky Collard.
I thought...
That face says it all.
Is it? No, obviously.
It was just a coincidence. It was just a coincidence that he happened to be driving our car with a shift on it that day. It is a coincidence. Who else do you think?
I got number.
I also had a guess of Nick Hamilton, because, he comes from more or less nothing. Yes, he's got a famous big brother, but he never sort of lets Lewis pay for anything, and, all of his troubles with his disability. Again, it sort of fits in quite nicely with the story. But...
I just want to say on that, I want to piggyback off that. Nick is one of the most inspirational, phenomenal people I've ever met. I had a good chat with him after his race, because obviously a few things went wrong. Nick is just so powerful, and I sat down and I said to him, just remember, dude, you're you. You're not just Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that name is a big shadow.
Oh yeah.
And Nick is his own individual. He's a phenomenal driver, and I mean this. And I never say it in a way. I'm never going to sit there and go, oh, he's a phenomenal driver because he's got certain things he has to. No, he's just a phenomenal driver. He's such a great guy. His dad as well. His dad's amazing. His dad is so amazing. I had a chat with his dad, and we share very similar stories, very similar morals. I think his dad likes the idea of what I'm doing because of why I'm doing it. He's a great guy. If you ask me, right, who would the character be like?
Yes.
Dan, a little.
Which one? We've got two.
You take your guess. Which one? Right. Who's a very aggressive driver?
Again, that could be both of them.
Yeah, no. Who's quite aggressive? You know what I mean? He came out and did quite well. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. I think I see who is it.
I like his attitude. I like his this is how it is. This is what I'm going to do. And he just speaks truth, right? But then also, though, there's a part of the character that's very Tom Chilton as well. And I mean that in the way of Tom is probably one of the most, how do I put it? He's a real gentleman. Do you understand what I mean? And when you speak to him, see, you don't even just hear it. You can literally see it and feel this energy of passion, how much he loves everything that he's doing. I think that comes across in the character. So the character realistically is a little bit of me. And that's being honest, he's a little bit of me because everything I write, something of my story has to come in there. I've had a pretty traumatic life, so there's always something of me that comes in there. So I think the first 30 minutes of the film, you're going to go, oh, wow, that's okay. So that's Christopher Torretto's story. Oh, wow. Okay. And then as we introduce someone else that kind of takes this kid under the wing and brings him up, you will see a little bit of Nick. You'll see a little bit of Dan. You'll see a little bit of Tom. He has some funny moments too. So you're going to see a little bit of Ingram in there. You know what I mean? He does. He's got a bit of a great kind of attitude. He's a bit of a clown in times. But then he's also got a very, very, very headstrong moment in him as well. And I've seen like Tom Chilton's very gentleman, very approachable. I've noticed that. Really, me and him just clicked when we first met. But also when his head is in it, his head's in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel he's like that. He is very like that. It's so hard. I can't pick one person. Do you know what I mean? And intentionally, I think intentionally I can't pick one person. You know what I mean?
But my apologies for the difficult question.
No, I think it's a brilliant question. He's just going to be, I think he's going to be a little bit of everybody. You're all going to feel a little bit of something. You're going to go, he kind of reminds me of something, reminds me. So, yeah, I think, Ricky, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't. It's just, it is a coincidence that he happened to be driving the car. I think he's more, I don't know, more like me meets a couple, I don't know. You'll see something different.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he'll inspire you. He'll inspire you, and you'll connect with him, and you'll feel for him, and I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm hoping that the audience kind of goes, I understand this guy. No matter what way we put it, I understand him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or who's to say it's a guy? It could be a girl. It could have changed.
I was going to say, we just assumed it was a guy, but I'm pretty sure it was from the Kickstarter wording.
But that's because scripts change.
Very true.
Could be a girl.
So, how many script changes have you made?
Oh my God. So this is what happens. So I am one of the fastest writers in the world, and I don't say that just to sound big-headed or arrogant. I got a phone call from Lionsgate asking for a script, and I had a script with them in 36 hours.
Jesus.
I wrote a full 96 pages in 36 hours.
Did you sleep?
What happens is I actually started at 4 a.m. and I just stayed awake most of the day. I still took time to talk to my kids and eat and stuff. But I just write. I don't stop. I really don't stop because I don't know what's coming next. I have no plan. Stephen King said it was pants writing. I thought it was an insult. It wasn't. It means I write on the edge of my seat. I don't know what's coming next. So when I wrote this script, I didn't know it was coming. I didn't know how I wanted it to play out. I just write it in the moment. I'm just like, well, this is what makes sense to me. I don't do rewrites ever. Any script I've ever given has never one rewrite, and the only rewrite it was a guy said to me, "Can you change the girl's name because it's my daughter's name?" And that's the only time I've ever had to change anything in a script. I've never done an or rewrite. But the exciting thing about this is the first time I think it's been done. We will be doing live rewrites as we're filming, and the reason being is we haven't wrote that this guy wins and this guy wins this, and we don't know who's going to win. We don't know what car's going to break down. We don't know what rules. We don't know. So we're having to change the film as it's being made. So I will be writing as it's being made, because if they go out on track and we're filming while they're out on track and something happens, I'm going to have to go blah, 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 and hand the script to the actors, including myself, and go, things are changing right now. So when they come in and we film, the actors are going to have to come in and go, oh my God, blah, 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 and react to like a crash or a non-start or you know what I mean? Anything could happen. And we're having to write it in that moment, and that's never been done before.
I love that.
Yeah, exciting.
Hats off to you. With all the drama of a touring car weekend, Jesus. Yeah. Hats off to you. And you've only experienced one.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Like the reason as well, I am also keeping the script from big studios. So usually you take a script like this to a big studio and they would take it on. But once they take it on, what tends to happen is the story becomes Hollywood. It becomes fantasized. It doesn't become real. People end up going, that's not a real true depiction of this. And that doesn't feel real. And that doesn't, I'm not doing that.
It's fine. You can name the F1 movie. It's fine.
We keep creative control, right? We keep creative control. And the reason we keep creative control is because then we can take input from the fans. You're not allowed to do that with a studio. We can do a direct partnership with BTCC, which we have. No, that doesn't mean the BTCC aren't like, we're rushing to get this to get more. No, we're helping BTCC and they're helping us. It's great. We're working with the teams. Fantastic. But it means we can keep it real. Because if Hollywood moved in or a studio moved in, they would choose one team only, and they go, this is the story. And they would fake and make some sort of rival that doesn't exist. And they'd be like, oh, did you know Tom Chilton hates Tom Ingram? And they would make them fight against each other. And they'd be like, oh, they don't like this and they don't like, and it's all fake. And you'd be like, just to create drama on a film? No, I can create drama that doesn't need to be fake. I can make something feel real.
Yeah.
But keep creative control of it. So that's why we're doing it differently. We're doing it independently, which is massive though. Scary.
Yeah,
Scary.
I don't envy that on your wallet. I know.
Well, we're talking to a lot of different products, right? So there's a lot of things happening with product placement. So a lot of sponsors will come in. So all different clothing brands and watches and alcohol and maybe vapes and maybe I don't know, TV. God knows, you talk to everything because you need to, there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
And then we get actual investors. Then we get partnerships. Then we get like sponsorships and stuff like that. And like we've already gathered so much money, so much for the actual budget. And then everybody was like, we did have a few people saying, and I want to cover it quick, a few people saying like, well, Chris, why are you running a Kickstarter then? Do you need to gather money from fans? You're asking fans to make the film. That's not what it is. So we have the money coming in. We're going to make the film. What we're doing is, if you go to like a concert or something, right? You can buy VIP tickets to go back behind stage and meet the band members and all that, and it costs you so much and you can get all this and all. Well, we're doing the same sort of thing. You can buy in the perks to come down and be in the film, be behind the scenes of the film, be a part of it, get in the seat, meet the do this, do that. You know what I mean? You're going to be a part. You're going to actually be in and be a part of it. But then obviously there's people out there too that are just like, I want to be an executive producer, and that tends to go to businesses and stuff. So we offered them what they're doing. But we have had some people coming in going like, why are you asking fans for money? We're not asking fans for money to make the film. We're giving an experience that you have to pay for. And the reason we do that is the money that you're paying to come and do that experience, well, it kind of covers the insurance for us to have you on set. It gets you on the film. It gets you credits. And, you know what I mean? It gets you a signed poster. It gets you meetings. You know what I mean? There's all these different perks that we're offering. So you're just paying to be a part of history. If you're a mega fan, you're paying to be a part of something. You know what I mean? It's not like we're just doing it as in we need to raise money. It's more like just if you want to be a part of the film, you can buy in like you would to a special VIP event. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll get a piece of history. Do you know what I mean? Like we might even end up at the end of it giving away like a helmet or something from the main character. There might be a signed helmet with the entire cast and crew, and you can win that if you buy in and get a credit. There, as I say, there's posters, there's opportunities, there's chances to come down and be on set, be in the film, be a speaking role in the film, you know what I mean? We offer everything just to give fans a chance, just to be a part of it, because it's a big movement, I think, for motorsport in Britain. So I think people are kind of going to go, well, if I'm a mega fan, I don't want to miss that. And that's the opportunity that's sitting right there to do.
So just to expand on that there, obviously there's like different types of things you can be involved in the film for, through the Kickstarter, is it called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is it like certain prices you have to pay to get in different bits?
Yeah, so there's different. So what it is there's like different tiers. So it'd be like VIP packages. There's different tiers. So you come in, you pay for it, and you get. There's different tiers there. But there's people can come in and like you can buy a pack or there's no obligation. And let's say something happened, and we couldn't make the film. People who put their money in just get it straight back. It doesn't go to us. You know what I mean? It doesn't go to us. So when you put your money on Kickstarter, keep the money, and then they only send the money out when we say, right, we need it to make so many posters. So say there's 200 posters, we need to make 200 posters. They give you the money for 200 posters. That's what you're paying for. So if like say you had a chance right now, I don't know, whoever your favorite racer is, right, and they said we're putting my helmet up for sale, and you're a mega fan, you buy it, right? It's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing. You're buying to get a VIP experience. You're buying to be a part of the film. Look at it when they did like Lord of the Rings and stuff. You could have buy to get a credit in the film. Since the strike, and this is what people don't understand, since the strike, see a lot of the big films you're watching, like F1, 70% of that was brought in through fan and product placement and stuff and all. A lot of fans bought into that. A lot of businessmen bought into it. A lot of angel investors bought. That's how you raise a budget now, because studios are struggling. And a lot of film kind of went, meh. So people kickstarting, crowdfunding, VIP perks, whatever way they want to call it. That's why a lot of people get involved in film and a lot of films get made. we already kind of have our budget. We're just waiting for the rest of the product placement, the rest of the sponsors, and then we're going to say who the director is, who the main actors are. We're going to be giving that out over the next couple of months. Realistically, our Kickstarter's just so you can be a part of the film. It's come and have a VIP experience. That's what it is.
Fair. Just kind of on the sort of product placement sponsor thing. Obviously, race cars are covered in sponsors. Will the sponsors be paying you to like have their logo on that car in your no?
No. So all the sponsors are already dealing with the teams, right? So they'll be there, they'll be seeing the car. If they want more screen time, they can say to us, hey, we want our business to get more screen time. Of course, that's product placement. But what happens is, what the great thing about this film, we're talking to sponsors and companies that have never, ever even seen the BTCC. They don't know the teams. They don't know anything. So this is a chance now for them to come in and get on this film, but then also turn around and go, hey, you know what? We like this. We want to sponsor that team. We want to sponsor the BTCC. We want a partnership here. This is going to lead, realistically, to every team on that grid probably gaining new sponsors, big sponsors, and the BTCC themselves gaining new sponsors, new partnerships. It's going to do something. This is going to be massive. Fulham is one of the biggest advertisers in the world right now. You know what I mean? And when people watch it, they want to be a part of it. So it's like, this is a chance for partnerships. It's a chance for sponsorships. It's a chance for investors. And I think every single team and even the BTCC, so the fans themselves, are going to gain massively from it. Do you know what I mean? Like we're talking to all sorts. All sorts. Brands that have never, ever been involved in motorsport. And they're like, we want to be on the film. And when they see the film, they're going to go, hey, we like that team. We want to sponsor that team. And that tends to be what happens. A lot of the sponsors from the film stays on then and stays with the teams. And yeah, it's a massive opportunity for everybody. I think it's going to be fantastic. But yeah, obviously, like the sponsors of the teams, the sponsors of the drivers, they have a chance to go, hey, Chris, we want to do product placement. We want our sign seen more. Well, if you need your sign seen more, that's more screen time. That's how it works. That's just film. There's no special rules. So film is, people pay for screen time because they know then it's getting seen by millions. Like, I mean, absolutely millions of people who have never seen that company before. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know, say we had, Breitling came in and decided we want to sponsor one of the drivers. But Chris, we need screen time. They'll pay for us to put Breitling. They'll pay to either have it in the background, which costs so much, have it actually being used, which costs so much, or have somebody say the name of it. And that's how product placement works.
Interesting. Sorry, my boyfriend has just walked in.
Chris,
would you like to
Hi
say...
guys, don't mind me.
Chris, would you like to say hello to other Chris?
Hey.
Apologies about him. He is also very excited about the film. Oh yeah. So, just out of sheer curiosity, obviously we are a not very well-known podcast, but if we wanted to say to you, can you put From the Banking on one of the cars and have some screen time, how much would it cost?
I have to go through all the marketing team. That's not me. I don't deal with that. But
Damn it.
realistically, what I'm trying to do, my whole goal, and it's always been, is to highlight things. I want to highlight things. So like before this film, in the acting world, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So many actors from underprivileged areas never get seen. So I was like, I got to change that. So I had a chance. I got a phone call to go and make a film with Samuel L. Jackson up in Scotland. And I've always wanted to work with Samuel L. Jackson. And they were like, Chris,
How
come up and
cool
do
is
it. And I
this
was
same
like,
picture
right.
of Sergio Say Camara? Is that not really, really cool?
Christopher, go home, you're drunk. Why did you turn my body light off?
Oh yeah, sorry.
God, he went out for one pint and
he's
comes
hammered.
home. Yeah. My
Yeah, like-
apologies.
No, it's fine. Like, as I was saying, like, they said to me, we want you to shave off your beard. And I was like, I'm on a film right now that has a load of actors who have never been seen before. If I shave my beard, I have to stop this film. It's never going to get released. So I chose not to work with Samuel L. Jackson so I could help them instead. And my goal has always been get unseen people seen, get the underdogs seen, get the underprivileged seen. So if there's a chance for me to kind of go, I'm going to highlight a company, or I'm going to highlight a kid that's a special driver and has some serious potential, or I can highlight somebody who's making a difference in the world, I'm going to highlight them. Do you know what I mean? So there's always, film is massive. There's always some way. Like literally, we could have a scene in the garage and there could be a magazine sitting on the floor and it could have your podcast, its name on the magazine, and we could literally just scan it and people are going to see it. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, There's so many ways of doing it. So many ways of doing it. I have literally had it where a guy opened a cupboard in the scene and he was scrolling through t-shirts, and one of the t-shirts was a business. And he pulled it out of it and went, nope, and put it back on. And he just advertised the business. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it knocked the sales of that t-shirt, that specific t-shirt, through the roof. You know, so it's like, yeah, like advertising for in film is massive. It's massive. It's going to go, with distribution on this will probably hit like 170, 180 countries in the first like week. So it's going to go everywhere. It's going to go everywhere. And we'll obviously have our own red carpet events here in the UK and stuff. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We just want to push it worldwide, because imagine in a year's time that some drivers are getting sponsored by Japanese companies. Do you know what I mean? Because they're like, we watch the BTCC now because we've seen it in a full. It's like,
I mean, weirder things have happened.
But it's cool though. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
It would be cool though.
Yeah,
because like, like countries all over the world that has never seen the BTCC, but they're going to see it in a film. And loads of people are going to go, what is that? That's I think that's the goal.
So this is just pure curiosity for me. Obviously, the film's on Ricky Collard's car. So is the character in the film going to be with Team Virtue, or is that something you can't disclose yet?
Or is it like a completely fictional team?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm pulling an Apex GP here.
Jimmy, what the heck have you put me on?
Hey,
so
don't blame Jamie.
I'm going to step away and let the producer answer the questions. Oh my God.
See, this is what you signed up for when you became
this is what I signed up for. This is what I signed up for. Oh my God, dude, this is a really awkward question. They have literally stuck me between a rock and a hard place.
Groundbreaking journalism.
Laughing. You're just standing there laughing. Really, you're just standing there. Right. Okay. We're highlighting every team. We want every single team to be a part of this. We want them all to have equal opportunity within the film. But there is a good chance that the driver maybe will accelerate.
Okay, cool.
That came out too quick, didn't it?
Yeah, that's fine. No one heard it. No one heard it.
It might be. Yeah.
That's a yes. That's a yes in my mind.
On something that's completely different, just
I'm
again,
like Spider-Man.
Yes, you are Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Out of pure curiosity, what is the driver of the car he'll be driving? What is the number?
I think I'm guessing. I'm guessing the answer to that one.
I'm gonna guess 1, but
oh my God, you just can't do that.
Sorry.
Right, I can't answer that one.
Okay, that's fine.
I cannot answer
we
that
will
one.
move on. So you, as well as
I'm sweating.
You're not the only one.
I can't answer that one.
As well as being a director, you've mentioned you're an actor and you've worked with several people. What films have you worked on? What have you acted in? And how did you find the experience? How different is it from like being an actor to being behind the camera?
I got into acting 10 years ago. It's something always, like, as I say, grew up. I wanted to be a race driver. Never going to happen. And then I thought, what would it be like to be an actor? Never going to happen. Not where I grew up. So I came to England, and my ex-wife said to me, she was all, why don't you go try to pursue acting now? And I was like, I don't know. And she kind of forced me into it. And I was like, right, well, I've got no experience, no qualifications, nobody's going to... And then somebody mentioned to me about Spotlight, and I didn't even know what it was. I didn't realize it was this professional platform for actors, and I thought, I don't know what that is. So I rang them. I said to them, I want to be an actor. And then they were like, right, what experience have you got? And I told them, none. What school do you go to? None. Do you know anything about acting? No. And then they were all, right, Chris, realistically, it's probably going to take you about 6 years to become an actor. And I'm like, oh God, okay. Well, 7 months later, I was Spotlight registered. I did 29 films in 20 months, and I was lead role in every single one of them.
Jeez.
I won multiple awards, and then within the first 18 months, I had moved from America to Los Angeles and was making films over there. I had the opportunity. I got cast for a major TV series, and I decided to come home. I wanted to help some actors in the UK, so I came home, and I was going to fly back out to LA. And then my little girl got really ill. As I say, she nearly died 9 times in 1 year. And then COVID hit. And
yes.
I decided, I was like, I can't leave my little girl's side. I sat with my ex-wife, and she said to me, she was like, Christopher, listen, go, just keep chasing acting, just keep chasing it. And I said there, I can't. I was all, I can't. I'm terrified to leave the house. I used to sit at night on the landing outside my daughter's room and just sit there all night, not sleeping, just watching to make sure she was still breathing. And then whenever she started feeling a bit better, I would go on and tell her stories, and she'd be all, Daddy, your stories are always amazing. You do all the voices and you do this. Like, would you write me a story? So I wrote a story, and then I said to my ex, like, and she was like, maybe you should start writing scripts. Like, you're good. And I said, yeah, maybe I should send the script to Netflix. And 5 days later, I did, which was just crazy. Director from Netflix took a look at it, said to me it was one of the best writing he's ever seen. He put me in contact with all our producers, all our directors, and then I just started writing. And every single person, as I say, just kind of said, hey, listen, your writing's unbelievable. And I was like, I wonder if I could step behind the camera now. Like, I love acting. I only do acting, you know what I mean? I was like, I wonder if I can step behind the camera. So I did some projects myself that'll be released later this year, next year, whereas behind the camera, also in front of it, I directed and acted, but I'm not directing this one.
Right, okay. I
I'm not
see where you're
directing this
going with
one.
that. I see
I'm
where
not
you're going with
directing this
that.
one.
Right, okay.
I have
Yeah.
foodies in my mind, but I'm not saying them yet.
I'm not directing this one.
Yeah, we've already blueballed the man too much. We do not need. we
I'm kind
do.
of more like, hold on.
We've got a really good director. Really good director is coming on board. He absolutely loves motorsport. He's a really good director. Really good director. He's a good friend of mine. He may or may not have several Netflix number ones.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's pretty good. So he's going to come and direct for us.
So
I'm not directing.
just out of curiosity
Aaron,
here.
be nice.
No, it's a good question, I think. Sort of two questions in one here. So you've done obviously a lot of acting, a lot of directing, or at least a bit. I'm not sure it counts as a lot. I'm not sure what counts as a lot to ask. But what would you
Yes,
say is
he's
your
done a lot.
favorite pieces you worked on and the best piece you've worked on?
I got to do a thing. Like, I literally stepped off the plane from LA. This was before my daughter got sick. I literally stepped off the plane from LA. And I put my UK phone on. I turned it on, and as I turned it on, within an hour it rang, and it was BBC. And they were like, Chris, we've been trying to ring you for like the last 4 days. I've been living in LA, and they were like, we've got a project called The Capture. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And I was all, who's in it? And they were like, Ron Perlman. I was all, say no more, I'm there. And they were like, we haven't even said, I was all, I don't care, say no more, I'm there. So they were like, well, we just need you to come down. We need you to be a firearms officer, but we need somebody who can do that and act. So you've trained with LAPD and you've done all this, and you've done, you know what I mean, you've got all your firearms and all. We need somebody who can do that and act, because we brought on police, but they can't act. And then we've had actors, but they can't police. And I was like, I don't really care if it's a tiny role. I just want to work with Ron Perlman. So I went down, did that, met Ron, and honestly, that was fantastic. I absolutely loved that. I did a film called Catalyst in LA in 2017 or 2018. I think it's on Apple, it's on Hulu, it's on Amazon. I don't know where else. Honestly, I've never even watched it. I don't like watching my own stuff. And I did a character which I was very uncomfortable with. He was a racist. I was very uncomfortable with it. I didn't like it. Very uncomfortable. But I got to do some fight scenes with the same team that did all the fight scenes for Six Underground with Ryan Reynolds and stuff. So I really enjoyed that. And then they asked me to drive a van, and they said, I want you to drive it like you stole it. And I said, well, do you want me to drive it like I stole it in America or stole it in Ireland? And they were like, what's the difference? I was all, they were all, what's the difference? And I was all, watch the first take compared to the second. And on the first take, I said I drove it like I stole it in Ireland. I put that van round the corner that hard. We were up on two wheels and everybody fell over in the back of it. And then I slammed the brakes on, and the lead actor ended up banging his head against the van wall. He was like, we still went with the take. They opened the doors, they dragged him out. And then the director came over and was all, cut. And he was all, you drove it like you stole it in Ireland, right? And I went, yep. So yeah, that was quite exciting. I quite enjoyed that. But I think one of my best experiences ever being on set was I did a short film. And it was just a short film. Everybody's like, oh my God, was it not something in LA? Was it not something here? It was a short film. It was like a 20-minute film. And I did it with my ex-wife and my 3 children. And it was in a Viking village, and my children got to dress up as Vikings, as kids and all. And they were running about with sword, and they just loved it. And to be honest, just getting to sit there and watch them doing that, just getting to kind of sit there and them being in pure awe. They were in pure awe of watching me doing my work, but I was in pure awe of watching them. I think that honestly was my greatest experience of being an actor ever. It was just being creative. I love being creative, and I love doing things for other people. It's just awesome. It's just a great thing to have. You can change a life way of home. You know what I mean? You can change a life way of home.
When you were a kid, I assume you've watched a lot of films.
Yeah.
What is the one film that still sticks out to you and you can point at and be like, yep, that's what made me want to be an actor or director?
Lord of the Rings was always big for me. We're going back now, getting a little personal here, but we're going back now, 20, my little girl was born. And I ended up getting really ill, like extremely ill, to the point where I spent more time in hospital than I did out of it. And I got so ill that I ended up kind of just degrading into myself, just went. And I watched Lord of the Rings every single day for 365 days. No joke. No joke. I was in a really bad place. I was really sick. I couldn't get out of my bed, and I literally got up and just put on the same film every single day. Every single day. And I was like, I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. And then Simon Pegg inspired me. Emmett Scanlon. Emmett inspired. He used to play Brendan in Hollyoaks. And I
Yes.
seen so much of me in that character, or in the fact of obviously his sexuality, but everything else with that character was like, man, that's me. I have got issues here. I've been living where I was living and growing up where I was growing up. And I was like, I want to, this is crazy. And he inspired me so much. Tom Hardy was a big inspiration of mine, massive inspiration of mine. And everybody said I acted like him. They were like, Chris, you've just got you've got that kind of essence like Tom Hardy every time you walk on set. And I used to be really muscular, like really, really big. And they were like, you've got that Tom Hardy mobland. Even now, when I just did a film called The Grange, and they were like, you just look like Tom Hardy, mobland. Just your attitude's like just that character. And I was all appreciate that. There's a little bit of Emmett and a little bit of Tom. So yeah, they inspired the life out of me. I think film has been it literally saved my life. It literally saved my life, like literally.
Lord of the Rings, fantastic films. You said you watched it literally for
Literally.
a year.
Yeah. All of them. So I got up in the morning and I started off with The Hobbit, and I watched The Hobbit, and then I went to Days of Less and the Smog and the Battle of Five Armies, and then I went straight on the Lord of the Rings. And I did that, and that's why I spent every day, every single day. I literally left my bed to use the bathroom and then come straight back to bed for a year. It was pretty bad. It was really bad.
Which one is your favorite?
Ew.
That's a terrible
Ew.
question, I know, but
I don't expect the journey. You know what I mean? It's just as he's running and he's all, I'm going on an adventure. That was my life. That's the moment that I got up and I got out of the house for the first day, and I went to my first ever acting class. I was like, I'm going on an adventure, and this is it. This is going to be my adventure. And even though it took me 7 days to make it to that acting class, because I got from my house to the car and I couldn't get any further. I suffered what was called agoraphobia.
yes.
So I couldn't leave the house. I got so ill and then I got scared to leave the house. Mad going from that to living in Los Angeles. But I got from my house to the car and then I threw up. And then I got from the car, then like a few days later, from the car to the end of the street, and I couldn't make it any further. And I gradually got to the acting school, and then I couldn't even go in. And then I threw up in the toilet. And then the acting coach was like, right, Chris, come on in. And then there was people, so I freaked out. And I was like, no. So he said, right, we'll try next week. We'll bring you in. And when we bring you in, nobody else will be here. And I went, right, okay. And I went in and he was all, I want you to do like a monologue. And I was like, what's a monologue? And he was all, it's like, no, when one actor's talking. And I went, right, okay. He goes, do you know any like speeches from films? And I was all, Daniel Day-Lewis in The Name of the Father. And he was all, whoa. And I went, the one where he's in prison with his dad, Zeppy. And he went, right. And he goes, Chris, can you do it? And I was all, I freaked out. I was proper, like, I was nearly in tears, freaking out. I was so nervous, anxiety through the roof. And he goes, I'm going to pull this big black curtain across. Just do it behind there. And he pulled the back curtain across, and he was all, it's just me here, don't panic. And then I just went straight on the character stuff. I was like, why do you always follow me? I mean, why do you always follow me? Do you do something wrong? Why don't you follow me? Do you do something right? What am I talking about? And I just went for it. And when I finished, all I heard was this massive uproar, clapping, and he pulled the curtain back, and there was like 30 people in the room. And obviously I freaked, so I ran out of the room. I called him everything when he came after me. I was like, how dare you do that to me? I'm never coming back. And he was like, Chris, the first day I met you, I seen something in you. I knew how good you were. They've all been here for about 5 years and you just blew them away. You've got something. And I was like, right. So I went home and thought about it and went, right, okay. And then that was it. It was just, I was hooked. I just got hooked. Just instantly hooked. This was a chance for me to escape my real life and become a different person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? In life, you get a chance. Maybe you grew up and, I don't know, if you're lucky, you go to college, you go to university, you become a solicitor. But by the time you become a solicitor, you're in your late 20s. By the time you think maybe this isn't the job for me, you're in your late 40s. Well, you don't really have time to go and do anything else, realistically. By the time you start a whole career in acting, I get to live 100 lives in one. I get to be something different all the time. I have been soldiers and I've been gangsters and I've been Interpol police officers and I've been flipping escaped convicts. I've been everything. Do you know what I mean? And you get a chance. So, and maybe this film I might get a chance to be something different.
Okay. You're just adding to my conspiracy theory by saying that.
Yeah. So, just talking about the film for a second here. Just again, curiosity. Obviously, there's a bit of a path to get to the touring cars. In the film, is it really more like the F1 film, where we sort of skip that path and just go straight to F1?
No, we're not skipping the path. We're showing exactly what it takes to get on the fuck.
Thank you.
That is what
Right. How can we change motorsport if we don't show what it takes to get into that seat?
Very true.
We
Yeah.
can't. Do you know what I mean? I ain't skipping. This ain't no glorified lay. We're already on the track. The guy's already made. No, he has to start from the bottom. And not only is he starting from the bottom, but he's starting from the bottom with a great hatred because nobody wants him there. Because he's blamed for something that technically isn't even his fault. Do you know what I mean? And he's one of the best on track, or is he? Is he? Does somebody see something on him? Do they not see something? How's he there? Why is he there? Does he even belong there?
Mm-hmm.
And we're showing what it takes. We're coming through different before we reach the BTC.
So what series are we going to see in that?
What would you like to see? Tell me that. What would you like to see? Would you like to see the money challenge?
Yes, please.
Would you like to see the money
Jeanette.
challenge?
Oh, yes.
That'd be cool,
Mini
wouldn't it?
challenge,
Imagine seeing the
Jeanette
money.
is- Yeah.
I mean, we've got a couple of touring car drivers. Lewis Selby, he came from minis last year, so
Yeah.
that is a fantastic way. I think a lot of them also did. Some of them did a couple of single seaters, like British
Mhm.
F4, things like that.
Ash Sutton did F4. I know that. I want to say
Yeah.
a couple of them have done Porsches. I know a couple of them
Yeah.
from Touring Car do
Couple
Porsches.
Porsches, yeah. Mm-hmm. See, this is the thing, right? We are currently in talks with different championships. I want to. This is the first ever BTCC film. The whole
Mhm.
point is getting to the BTCC.
Yeah.
But why can't we help every other championship on the way up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're still there. They're still doing the same thing. You know what I mean? They deserve recognition. So I'm trying to change motorsport.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's about getting people in the gate at the weekend for every single championship that's there. I want to take the numbers through the roof. I want them to be the way it used to be in the 90s. You know what I mean? I want the numbers through. I want people to be landing there and going, we're here because this is now, it's kicked a whole new. I want people who have never stepped foot anywhere near a racetrack to go, I need to go to this now. I
Mhm.
want kids to watch it and go, hey, I live in a bad estate. My mum, my dad are on benefits. Maybe my dad's not even here. Can I really, really become that? Really? Is that doable? Hell yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe the film might even give away something that nobody expects. Maybe it's going to give away a whole new program that might find a way to get drivers in seats. Maybe there might be something in the film that we might give away of going, this is a new way to put drivers in seats. Well, there might be a few initiatives in the film. We're still on top. I want to change motorsport. It's not just about a film.
Just another championship, by the way, to championship we'd like to see. Get him in Legends.
Thank
I'd
you. I
love
was
to
just
see-
about to say
I'd
that.
love to see a movie with a Legends race in it because that'd be
Do you
brilliant.
know it's mental? So the executive producer and myself, a guy called Elliot, right? He's 6. Hi, is Elliot 6 foot? So we always wind him up, right? That he's 6 foot. And I'm like, hold on a minute, I'm 5'7", he's 5'10". Elliot, you're about the same height. Are you really 6 foot? But anyway, we were down with the Legends, and he was all, so right, what does it take? Can we get these out sometime? We want blah blah blah. And he sat in one, and he was like, Chris, I'm addicted already, and I've only sat on it. And I was like, And I was like, there's might be a little thing here. Might be a little thing here. You know what I mean? There's so much. There's so much. I like, me personally too, I love the Fun Cup.
Oh,
I think the
yes.
Fun Cup's amazing. I think the fact that they're out doing endurance like that, it's just mental. And
Mhm.
Abby's racing on it. So I was like, what? So obviously my little girl's like, Abby. And I'm like, yep. You know what I mean? Fun Cup's pretty cool. There is so much. There's so much that I'm sitting there kind of going like, I can't highlight everything, otherwise it's just
Mhm.
going to be a big documentary instead of a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how can I do it in a way that makes sense? So
Mhm.
it's up to me now as a creator to, and my problem is I want to help everybody.
Mhm.
The problem is I want to help everybody, but it needs to make sense. But yeah, you're definitely, I can guarantee you're going to see a climb of how to become a racer. Not just, oh, look, he's already in the BTCC. Nope.
Mhm.
It's how to become, how he gets there. And it's not going to be an easy path.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be an easy path.
Yeah.
Like, remember, we might be shooting this film over one season, but it's going to be a lot longer in the film, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the way the film is being written and made is we are going to be able to go and kind of go back and forward in a way without being confusing and go, this is what I got, but this is here. People will be like, well, hold on, man, if it took him several years to go through there, how can you be using this season? Don't
Mhm.
worry, that's where my genius cap comes on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not just going to go, oh, look, he was in this for a week and now suddenly he's here. No, I've already worked all that out. And it's actually, yeah, I think it's quite exciting how we're doing it. We are trying something completely different, completely artistic. And I think I truly believe it's going to work. I think the fans are going to love it. I think they're going to go, right, they're not messing around. Do you know what I mean? This isn't some fantasy film. You know what I mean? Like, I've done films before and I ride motorbikes as well. So say anything at all with an engine that moves fast and I'm like, I'm there. And we had to do, I was doing a canyon in America and they wanted to put the bike on the trailer and we weren't even allowed to ride the bike. They wanted to put it on a trailer. And they done that with a lot of Sons of Anarchy and stuff like that. So I was like, can I get the bike off the trailer? And then I'm coming into the corner at like 60 and 70 miles an hour, and the director's going faster. And I'm like, faster? You had me on a trailer a moment ago. But like, I want it to be real. I don't want that. So we're not going to be bringing out what we call sleds, which is what we put on the cars. They make them slide and drift and go off track and crash. We're not doing any of that. It's literally, if there's a crash, I hope there's not, because I never like seeing it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, all we want to see is a crash. It's mad. You make something for social media and you put on a really good race and you get 1,000 likes. You put a crash in and there's like 10,000 likes. You're like, what is wrong with you people? I don't want to see a crash. I'm sorry. I just don't. It's a driver. It's a crash. But if there is one, we got to show it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not going to pretend there's one. We're not going to pretend there's a rivalry. If a rivalry starts kicking up through the season, then we're going to show it. Do you know what I mean?
With crashes, there's a weird one for us as marshals, the guys in orange at every single race weekend. Because, if there's a crash, it gives us something to do. We're not just sitting there bored. But at the same time, when you're at Knockhill and it is pouring with rain and you just want to hide in the little hut, you don't want a crash. So it's kind of the nice sort of, I guess, between a rock and a hard place where you want it but you don't want it. So I get where you're coming from with that sort of note. If a crash does happen and you do film the marshals coming out, well, they get credits.
Oh, of course. We actually, no, it's what's mad. Like, I said this as well. Marshals don't get enough credit. They don't. We actually had this conversation. Jamie, didn't we have this conversation with like the chief at Donington? She was lovely, wasn't she? And she came out and she spoke to me and like she was like, "Oh, Chris, I've been marshalling this length of time. I think it was like 23 years, wasn't it, or something?" And so, like, she was loving. She was like, I was like, this is the thing about shift as well. We want to highlight everybody, not just teams and racers, but everybody that makes a day happen. Everybody makes a race happen. And no harm, but you couldn't have a race without marshals. You couldn't do it. Everybody deserves respect. They deserve to be credited and known and seen. So yeah, we are going to show what you guys do, and we're going to show what it takes. Because, as I say, as a brick car, and I seen them all running out when a car broke down, and it was like, you know what I mean? And they were like, we got to get this off track. That dude came from literally, he broke down. The race started. He came out, and he came first. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I couldn't believe it. It was just class. But we watched all the marshals come out. They were like proper, I mean, you guys are like, go, 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 go. And everybody, they don't see it. They don't see it. So yeah, we got to show that. We got to show that. Everybody's got to get respect in this film. Everybody. Because you can't have a race weekend without the people on the gates. You can't have it without the people in the paddocks. I mean, all the engineers, everybody from the doing the tire, the driver himself. You can't have it without the team owners. You can't have it without the marshal. You can't have it with the guy sitting in a little box talking. Everybody, every single person needs to be highlighted in a way, and I want to do it in a positive way. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I got to take my family to races because you guys are all there doing your job.
I think I can happily speak for all the marshals across the UK and say thank you for highlighting us. We are unpaid, and we do it for fun. We do it as a hobby, but what speaks to me, sorry, what speaks to me, I don't want to piggyback off that quick before I forget just what's there. What speaks to me though is as well as the fact that I know that a lot of marshals do it because it helps their mental health. And I think that's fucking beautiful. Personally, I think it's beautiful. I think it's stunning. I think it's the fact that when they're out on that track, everything else in the world goes quiet. And I truly understand that. I understand that. It's mad because I spoke to Tom Chilton and he was like, Chris, whenever I go and I take a corner, he goes, the world goes silent. You know what I mean? Like the world goes silent. And I'm like, dude, when I've got a camera in my hand or, I'm in my moment just thinking of angles and thinking of shots, the world goes silent. So I understand that. And when somebody said to me that like it really helps mental health, I was like, I get that. I really get that. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's another reason we gotta highlight it. We gotta highlight what you do because there wouldn't be a race if you weren't there. You know what I mean? Maybe just don't record audio around Knockhill if you're on any of the posts because we are not nice to each other.
Yeah, the banter's going to be nasty. We can make a whole film just based around what happens there.
Exactly.
The terror of Knockhill. It could be a horror film, just a totally different film all the others. Just the terror of Knockhill. Yeah, that could work. That could work.
Just going off the obviously you said about the sports series going up in nets. Are we just going to see just the touring car circuits in the film, or are we going to see circuits like Mandela Park or Castle Coombe or that? We're going to see circuits like that possibly in the film.
Mandela is a fantastic track.
There's what I'm trying to do, right? I have to be careful what I say because some things we're doing deals with some people, right? There is something really exciting. We're going to be filming somewhere where I don't think anybody's expecting us to film. I also think there may be an unveiling of something in the film that nobody knows is coming in the motorsport world. It's been very hush hush. It's been very hush hush, and we're actually currently trying to talk to see if they'll let us be the first person that this is ever the first. Let's put it this way: before they even unveil it to the world, we're thinking, can we unveil it to the phone in the phone? And they're like, well, Chris, it would mean having it ready almost in advance before, and then we'd have to wait till the film's released. And I was all, nah, but what if we have it in the film and then we do a release for a teaser? So there is a chance of that. We're doing some things that might be very special. Now, obviously, if we're showing different championships, different ways of him coming in, we gotta look at what makes sense. So I can't turn around and say, let's show this championship, but they don't race at this specific track. I can't do it because the fans will go, that doesn't make sense. They don't race there. So I gotta make sure that anything we do would actually make sense. But there's always chances for us to visit our tracks for testing, or maybe his coach is like, well, let me see what you've actually got. Do you know what I mean? And there's a chance to visit different tracks. But at the moment, we haven't locked anything in other than, I think, one other track outside what the BTCC is doing. So we'll have to see. We'll just have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm trying my best because the more tracks we can highlight, the more teams we can highlight, the more drivers we can highlight, the more tourism we're going to create for those tracks, the more sponsors we're going to create for those teams and those drivers. Do you know what I mean? But I got to do it in a way that it makes sense. Otherwise, it's just going to look like a promotional ad. It's going to be like 2 hours of promotional advertising, and the fans are just going to get lost and going, they're more interested. I get it. They're trying to advertise the sport, but there's no story. But yeah, I'm really trying my best to find a balance. Do you know what I mean? I want to find a nice balance.
Nice.
What I say is, I think I'm definitely going to be at Silverstone. Do you know what I mean? I think we'll have a full camera crew at Silverstone.
I mean,
I think what's going to happen just is the fans are just going to have to see when we're there, because remember, the fans are still there to watch a race, and you're just going to arrive at a track, and then suddenly you'll be walking past a paddock, and there might be a director, known actors, and a full camera crew in that paddock. Here's one thing I will leave you with, and this is what's really exciting. I'm going to be at a lot of the events, right? Because I got the season pass. I'm going to be at a lot of the events, right? But I'm going to be there as more than a fan. Okay, because obviously I'm in there. I am taking cameras and I'm using it. Sometimes you'll see me with a phone and I'll be like, "Oh, what's this angle?" Or times you'll see me with a cinema camera. Or times you'll see me with maybe a gimbal and a small camera. I'll be with everything. But what I'm actually doing is going, "Oh my word, how the heck are we filming this when they're?" You know what I mean? How am I able to get actors in here and say their lines and do everything while they're getting ready? You know what I mean? It's never been done before. We right now at the moment, we're sitting there going, game plan, and we're working on a game plan of how do we bring in named actors, a named director, and a full camera crew without all the fans going, "Oh my god, that's such and such and we're trying to film a film here and they're screaming the dude's name. Do you understand me? We can't stop them."
yeah.
And we're like, how the hell do we do that? Oh, like the guy's called, I don't know, Patrick on the phone, but they're shouting his real name, going, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean? In the real phone. So it's like, oh god, we don't know how we're going to work around that. We don't know how we're going to fit a full camera crew in the paddock while the teams are getting ready to go out and race. And we're like, oh my god, right, are we going to have to do race footage? And then when they're not technically out doing a race, can we grab everything else we need while the cars are in there? It's never been done. It's going to be really crazy. It's going to be really crazy. But the good thing about it is you're going to see named actors that you're going to recognize. But I think what the fans are going to love is we're not bringing in actors to pretend to be that mechanic that you recognize or that team owner. No, I mean, we're not doing that. So when the fans watch it, they're going to go, "I freaking know, I've seen him at the track." You know what I mean? And then we're going to blend actors in there. So we'll have the real mechanics, and then we'll have maybe 2 actors that are in there who will be playing mechanics. Do you understand me? But they'll be with the real mechanic. So, and I don't know, maybe the owner of the BTCC himself might be played by an actor. I don't know.
Is he happy about that?
Okay.
I don't know yet. I gotta ask him. I gotta say to him. Well, I'm gonna go, "Well, would you like to be in our film?" Chris, really? I love them. I love them. I have to give a massive shout out, honestly, to Alan and Simon. They are fantastic. They've been fantastic. I do have to give a shout out to every single team. They've been amazing, but obviously the last few weeks I've been working with Justina, the owner of Accelerate. What a woman!
We love
What
her.
a woman! Do you know what I mean? Like seriously, her and her husband. Oh my God, Anthony, they're both just phenomenal. They're phenomenal. They have been behind this since the very get-go. The moment that I went up and I met with BTCC and put the contract in front of them, told them what we were looking to do, the BTCC have been amazing. They've been truly, truly amazing. They were more excited than what I was. You know what I mean? They were proper, like, this is, like, remember, they've had a lot of people approach them with different projects over the years. And
I
this
did
is
not
the
know that.
first time, this is the first time now we're going full access, because they had people wanted to do different things, but they've never had anybody want to do what I want to do. And they're like, this is different. This is really that. There's something about you that's different. And I'm like, yeah, I'm crazy. I want to do something nobody else wants to do. And they're like, can you deliver? And I'm like, dude, can I deliver? You wait till you see what we deliver. Do you know what I mean? And I got them so excited. They were like, let's go. Let's go. So yeah, it's quite cool. Quite cool.
I can tell just from the way you're speaking, you are unbelievably passionate about this project, and it's so nice to hear it, and it's so refreshing to hear it and not have, your stereotypes are just like, yeah, I'm doing a movie, who cares? So that's my interpretation of it anyway. You genuinely seem excited, passionate, and wanting to make this a film for the fans, not just the likes of the F1 movie that was clearly, shall we say, corporatized. And I think whenever
Sorry, once let me get this out just in case before we go. So once obviously we make money from the film, right? So obviously you do because you're making the film. But like once everybody gets paid and whatever everything's done as well, a large percentage of what's being made is going back to help racers get on the seats. I'm giving a lot of my money. It's my personal percentage. So a lot of my personal percentage, I'm going to go to karting schools. I'm going to just start sponsoring kids, because that's where my kids wanted to be. So I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So obviously me being the creator, I get a certain kickback and all, but obviously all the actors get paid, all the cast and crew get paid. You know what I mean? There's a percentage going across everything that's involved. That there's a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, to be done. But when it comes to me getting my kickback, I'm taking a large percentage of that, because I've never had anything my whole life growing up. When you never had anything, you don't really need anything.
Yeah.
And I would rather when my kids grow up, that my daughter and my sons are at an event with me and some kid walks up to them, or some man walks up to them, maybe in years to come, some man walks up to them, maybe he's in his 20s, and goes, hey, are you Chris Torretto's kids? Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm a racer because your dad made it so. That is all that matters to me. It's not money. It's not anything. My name goes on that film that I can be proud of. My kids can be proud of. I'm leaving a legacy for them. If anything happened to me, you know what I mean, in a couple of whatever, anything ever happens, they could have got something. But more important, I want people to walk up and go, you know, I got to be a racer because your dad sponsored me. Your dad made it so. I got to be a racer because your dad made a difference in motorsport. I got to be a racer because your dad helped introduce me to you know what I mean? That's what it's about for me. That's more important to me than anything. And then fans to come up and go, you did us justice. You did the sport justice. You actually made something worthwhile. You know, we're not sitting here booing it. And I think that's my biggest threat right now. My biggest pressure is, what if I land in a red carpet event and the fans aren't happy? So that's why I'm trying to do stuff like this. And I'm trying to get in with the fans and speak to as many people as possible, because every time a fan speaks to me, I've got like an eidetic memory, everything stays. So I come home and then I just sit and I write notes of what that fan told me, and I'm like, I got to remember this. So fans are telling me what they want to see without even realizing they're telling me. Do you know what I mean? Like, you guys have said some stuff tonight without even realizing it, and I'm kind of going, I need to do that, and I'm going to go back now and work other things. So thank you for that. You have just made a massive contribution, because there's stuff I didn't think on that I'm sitting there going, hey, they got a point. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
it's fine.
that's
We
what
don't expect a share of the profits. So, Arran,
we'll bring a drone and we'll get a shot of Noggle.
Hell yeah.
Just make sure you're at a hut doing this.
He's just like, hi.
That's all you need to do.
Although
I'll put it at the very end credit. Special thanks.
Although I think drones over not kill is actually very not allowed, not very illegal. So nice try. Arran, any last minute questions before we?
this is very much a long shot because I understand to an extent.
I already know this question you're gonna ask. Don't ask.
That's fire away, dude.
Do we have sort of like a rough idea? Like, obviously, I'm not asking for like June 28, 2028, whatever it is.
Release date.
Yeah, just any like sort of idea of what time around.
So what'll happen is if everything goes well, we'll shoot September, October, and into the first week of November.
Ooh.
Then it'll be sent off to an editing suite. Editing can take a long time for a film like this, especially of this big. We don't know if we're going to need reshoots. But personally, because I'm a bit of a stickler, I would rather have it being released. Honestly, I would love to do this. Now, don't stick with this because I can't promise, but this was what I'd love to do. I would love to have the release date the day of the very last race of the season.
This year?
Next year.
Next year, right? Okay, I was going to say this year. That'd be
no, definitely not this year. Whoa, I wish.
This year would be crazy. Yeah.
No, I would like
to do it. No, film the last race of the season.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So we're going to film. We'll film this season. We'll film a little bit after because obviously the season we finished. We'll still have some stuff to pick up on. All the off-track stuff to pick up on. There's a lot of off-track stuff. We'll throw it on the editing, and I would like them for the next season for the last day, the very last day of racing. I'd like the film to go live, go out that day, or maybe that night, or maybe actually it might be better to the following day. So the racing season's just finished, and the very next day the film's just like bosh. So we've got that film then where everybody gets those blues when the race season stops. You're like, oh god, it's what am I meant to do now? Well, hold on a minute. Race season finished today. We're hitting the cinema tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like we've still got the film now, and I kind of think that would be really, really cool because it would keep it alive in us.
Oh yeah.
And no, I mean, while we're waiting for the next season to kind of kick off and stuff, I think could be cool. Could be cool.
So,
but me personally, I'd like it. I'd like it out in 12 months. I would like it. I'm not going to wait. There's no 2028. Nah, we're shoot 2026. I want to release in 2027, and that's one thing I'll be hard on. Like we've got a team. We're going to have an editing team in Britain and an editing team in America. So they're going to be coming together. So we should be able to turn around quite quick.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool. Very cool.
So when this film is all put together and all ready for release, where will I be able to see it? Can I go down to my local cinema and see it? Can I get it on Netflix? Like, where can I watch this?
What we're looking to do, so when you film at the moment, because we're not a big studio, right? We don't go straight on for deals right away. So what we're going to do is when we're ready, we'll have our actors released. We'll say where actors are, but then once with the actors released, while we're filming, we've got an entire marketing team that will go around. And what could happen is, yes, we'll approach Netflix, we could approach Sony, we could approach Amazon, we could approach Paramount. There's so many. And what you got to do is pick who's going to give you the best wide range coverage, who's going to give you the best deal, what's going to help the film itself better. Me personally, I would love to do a cinema release before I do like a streaming release. But that's me because I want to keep cinema alive. I want people back in the cinema, but a lot of people don't want to do that anymore. They want to just sit and watch films at home, or they want to watch them on their phones on a train, or and that's kind of a killer. But I think we're going to have to sit down as a full marketing team. And what'll happen is we'll sit with all the teams, we'll sit with BTCC, we'll sit with all the executive producers, everyone, and we'll go, right, here's the options we have. What do you want to do? Do you think that we run it in a cinema for a limited time and then go straight to streaming? Or do we go straight to streaming? Or do we let them do like a global release where we get like 180 and they do it like, what do we do? But we'll not know until we sit down and do a full marketing. Because what happens is distribution companies, they offer you so many different opportunities, and each distribution company can do something different for you. We got to know we're basically in partnership with the right people. So honestly, right now at the moment, me personally, I'd love you to all hit the cinema. I want to do a massive red carpet, like a proper event, proper red carpet, get a load of fans. You know what I mean? Let the fans come in first, see the films first. I would like the fans to go see the films first so they can go in there, they can enjoy full the cinema. And then when they come out, then all the teams, drivers and their families get to go in and watch it, and I get to go in and watch it. Do you know what I mean? I prefer that. Let the fans go in first. Let them rock it and see if they enjoy it. Because we could be outside, and if they come out cheering, we're like, hey, we've got something. Then all the teams and the drivers and stuff and all that there. We might even do it when we've got our first edit. We might come to people like yourselves and other like influencers and people who are mad motorsport, and we might go, we're going to give you a pre-screening. And we might give you a pre-screening like 3 or 4 months before release. So you can give us a scoring, what you think, what might need changed. Because if anything needs changed, then we can kind of go, oh, we can go back and reshoot that. They didn't like that. But if you just knock that top block, we like it, we got gold, time to release, and we'll be able to release easily. And then Because that's what a lot of the big films do. Like,
We will hold you to letting us come to the pre-screening.
oh,
And-
absolutely. Definitely. There'll be, we'll do something.
One last question from me. Is there anything you can tell us about the film that maybe as a sort of first thing to the world on live here on From the Banking, is there anything you can tell us more than what you've already told us?
I have already. I've
that
told
will
you
not-
so much already. I shouldn't have. Too much. I've already told you stuff I haven't told anybody else. He's shouting at me, going, "Yeah, too much." I've just went Tom Holland with you guys. I really am hammered. If this goes, I'm going to get hammered, you know.
Well-
I've already answered well. I've answered way too much. I'm not honest, being honest. Like, I answered too much with the drivers. Yeah, too much. I think I've given away a lot.
Okay.
I'm not good at this.
Well,
I don't like keeping things. Just let it happen. Like, people get excited. No, I've given you, yeah, I think everything. You've got the story, you've got the teams, you've got the fact that we're coming up. We're going to be showing a lot of really cool stuff coming up. Who the character may or may not be based on. What teams we may or may not be using. What tracks we may or may not be using. What year we may or may not be putting it out. What streaming device we may or may not be doing.
Okay,
I've answered a
fair
lot
enough.
of questions.
Fair enough. Just thought I'd try my luck.
Oh my God. The only thing I haven't got is the script, sitting here holding it so you can read it.
Don't tempt me, because I will ask you to go get it. Is there anything apart from the film? Is there anything you would like to promote? Or
Honestly, just if you've got your followers, just send them over. Obviously, my Instagram's official_Chris_T. Give me a follow. You can follow there and keep up to date with Shift. And we also have Shift Films. You can find us on all social media. And other than that, I think the only thing, as I say, I'm trying to promote is I want to just make a change. I want to make a change to the motorsport. So if there's anybody out there that is thinking about sponsoring or like investing or anything, make sure you contact my team, because we're making a difference in people's lives. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a big thing we're looking to do. The film is very, very, very vital for all of motorsport. But I think the message that goes with the film is going to be something that the entire motorsport world needs. I think we need to make driving accessible. I think we need to make it accessible for everybody. Do you know what I mean? I'm blessed. Yeah, I mean, I'm blessed at the moment. I might have news in a couple of weeks' time, but I'm not going to give that away yet.
Damn it.
I have to keep an eye on my social media, because there's going to be a few things getting released. So you're going to have to keep an eye on my social media. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. We still love you.
You still Tom Holland me. It's fine.
You Tom Holland yourself, so.
Oh, I really did, didn't I? I really did.
I'm not taking any
useless at this.
responsibility for that.
I'm useless at this. I just like talking, and it's like, oh God, it's coming out. Oh God, oh, don't say that. But the only good thing is it's my project. I'm full creative control. So realistically, I've NDA'd myself. You understand me? So I can say anything I want to say about it. But the only thing, I just don't want to give too much away, because I want you to be excited. I want you to go, ooh, because now you got to go away. And there's only one thing I'm going to leave yous with. You got to go away now and go, how much of that about the actual film is true? Because that dude's an actor.
Yeah, you see, I was thinking, I'm like,
I don't know.
is he actually us, or is it like?
It would be an absolute play if you were. Robo's got nothing
I'm not
to do
that
with
good of an actor. If I was that good of a...
Yeah, you'd be in the movie. That's assuming you're not already in the movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sitting there.
Christ. You know,
how many films are they shooting right now? Where would I wouldn't be here? What else have I got to do on a Thursday night? I could be filming.
Well,
no, honestly, I don't mind giving stuff away. I just want your I want your fans. I want you guys now, though, so we can help promote you. So my social media, I did grow it. I grew it up to like 70,000, and then I stopped, and then it dropped like crazy because I just wasn't posting for years. I'm in the build up of that again, so I'll be passing this around. The entire Shift team will pass it around. I'll tag in every sponsor, every team, every driver, everybody, and get them. They all share my stuff, which I'm blessed for. So they'll share this. So we'll try and get it out there as much as possible for you, because I think what you are doing is fantastic. I love the fact that you are Marshalls. You know what I mean? And I love the name. I love the name. I think it's fantastic. By the way, I really love that. Like I called Shift. This is what I'll leave you with. I called Shift. And the reason I called it Shift isn't just because you're shifting gears. It's because an entire shift in the guy's mind frame, an entire shift in his life, and an entire shift in the motorsport world. So it blends in with so many reasons. And that is, the name means a lot. You use your guy's name. I like it. It's quite cool. I really like that. I really like it, especially with these. Keep doing what you're
Thanks.
doing. He's a vast some amazing questions. Like seriously, I've been interviewed by a lot of people that they were sung. Yeah, you got me there.
Yeah, you can tell we're fans and we're not like PR or journalists trained.
Exactly. Yeah, you can tell you're actually passionate about this. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're actually passionate, and you're like, you know what I mean? You thought about, like, he sent me the first question before he even asked me it. You know what I mean? It wasn't just random.
Yeah.
But it's like these are very passionate, and you've kind of this is good. This is what you're doing is good. It's relaxing. It's not pressure. I
Yeah.
prefer these kind of things. This ain't pressure. Sometimes you go for interviews. I've done interviews throughout my career, and it's like really pressure. And you're like sitting on a chair or on a sofa like this, and everybody's staring at you, asking you questions. You're like, I feel really uncomfortable. Just stop asking me questions. But yeah, this is cool. This is cool.
Mhm.
What you're doing is awesome. Stick up with it. Just stay with it and keep doing it. Keep getting people in. And if we can help you reach out to anybody, let us know, and we'll try to get all our people when they're free to come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know who you're reaching out to, but if you need drivers and we can help you reach drivers, we can help you reach them. We'll ask them. You know what I mean? So, like, I got a kid met me at Donington, didn't we? He met us at Donington. He was like 16. Yeah. He wants to be a mechanic, and I said to him, "We'll just stay there, and I'll introduce you to the main mechanic, Accelerate." And he goes, "You serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." Well, come here. You know, that quick, you can just do and that now might help him in his career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like anything we can do to help. That's what we're there for.
Well, thank you for that, and you're more than welcome back on anytime.
Yeah,
You have
definitely.
been incredible.
No, because you'll ask me more questions, and I can't do
Okay,
that. No.
okay. After the film has been released, you're
That's
more
an
than
idea.
welcome. You're more than welcome to come back
Oh,
on,
Jesus.
and we.
No more questions before it's released.
No, in that case, we will say thank you ever so
Yeah.
much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We really appreciate your time, and we wish you all the luck in the world with this film. We know
Thank
it's going to be absolutely incredible, and you are doing an incredible thing by bringing the
Thank
world
you.
of British touring cars to, well, the world, and
Yeah.
more importantly, to people who maybe don't know what it is. So thank
Exactly.
you for that.
Thank you so much for having me. Honestly,
No worries.
Thank
No
you so much.
worries.
look after yourselves.
Try our
And I'll
hardest.
see you at the track. I'll be there. You'll see me at some track somewhere. Get the track. We'll be there. I'll meet up
You
with
might see me twice. I'm not sure.
Get thee somewhere and we'll meet up. We'll grab a coffee.
Aye.
Get thee some.
I'll
Come up to
probably
me
not.
in
I'm
person and
definitely
go
not actually
hi.
crossed, not that.
You know what I mean? Just come up in person and go hi.
Well, seeing as you've been a guest on our podcast, you do get the coveted From the Banking beanie, so we will definitely have to meet up somewhere and give
Awesome.
you that.
Yeah, let me know what tracks you're going to be at and stuff and all. And when we'll meet up. We'll definitely
Yeah.
get something.
Perfect.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you ever so much. Have a lovely rest of your day.
Bye.
Anyway,
The life after she just said there, now you look younger than me and I'm 25.
I've already got enough out of him. Stop lying.
But come and say hello at least. Quick, now before they go, say hello, pop on. This is one of the producers, by the way.
Hello.
Hello.
So that's one of our main producers, Jamie Redman. He's one of our main producers. So yeah, you'll see him at all the tracks too. He'll be the one that's talking to you. Anyway, I need to
Anyways.
go because I can't get off this thing. Have a good night, and I'll meet up with you at the
You too,
track.
mate.
Great
See
seeing
you
you.
later.
Oh, there it is.
Oh my god.
Oh.